Hi, this is Alex Kudryavtsev, and I'm in Beijing, China. Today we'll have a conversation with Dr. Chen Yuqi. Hello, Yuqi.
Hello, Alex.
I know that you conduct research about nature connection. What is nature connection?
Nature connection is how people perceive their own relationship with nature environments, and that will include their sensory experiences in nature and also their emotional responses or attachment to some specific environment, and also significant memories about specific nature elements and also the values they create from those experiences.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what is sensory experiences?
Sensory experiences, I think most people would have that kind of experiences. For example, you can sit in the park and you can hear the birds singing, you can feel the heat from the sun, and you can smell the fragrances in the air, and maybe sometimes you can taste some white fruit.
And how about emotional responses or emotional attachment?
Emotional responses mostly come from your sensory experiences. For example, you would probably sit in a beautiful place and you would appreciate the landscape, and that would produce positive emotions like happiness, joy, surprise. And also, emotional responses include negative emotions like fear. When you saw spiders in front of you, you will feel scared. Or maybe shock if you saw a snake, or you trap a snake, you will feel terrified.
It's kind of positive and negative responses to different phenomena in nature. So another question comes, what is nature? How do you define nature since we talk about nature connection?
Yeah, it's a good question because it's so difficult to precisely define something as nature or not nature. You probably can say nature is everywhere. For example, the pet, the cat and dog in your house, the plant in your room, that's nature. And also some nature environment is managed by human, like zoos, botanical garden, farms, aquariums. And sometimes nature could be very wild, like protected areas in national park.
Do we include cities or human settlements as part of nature?
Yeah, of course, according to the definition I just mentioned, the urban areas also have a different level of nature.
And probably many environmental educators would ask you, why should we care about nature connection in our environmental education programs?
Well, there are two reasons. The first reason is that from 1980s, there are a series of research called significant life experience research. So far, all results indicate that nature experiences in childhood and adolescence will motivate adults to protect nature. This is the first reason. And the second reason is that so many researchers, they assume that nature connectedness can help improve environmental behavior and make people more wellness to help protect environment.
Well, those are kind of pragmatic reasons. And how about nature connectedness influencing maybe like overall human well being or human experiences?
Yes, nature experiences can bring a lot of benefit. The first benefit is about physical health. And there are many research talking about that if you allowed your kids to have more time playing outside in nature, that will improve their motor development and also their control, help control their weight. The second benefit is well-being. That means when kids have more time playing in nature, they have better emotion regulation and they probably won't have attention deficit disorder. And the third reason is that when kids play in nature together, they will develop better social skills like teamwork, leadership.
And do you observe that current generations of kids, especially in big cities, have a very different connection to nature comparing to their parents or maybe even grandparents who probably experienced more of wild ecosystems?
Yes, I think so. I think right now the kids have more cognitive or symbolic or abstract connection with nature because they always read nature from TV, from internet, and also from textbook. So they don't really have much experiences about nature, and they don't have a strong emotional attachment with nature.
Do you think then that's possible to develop some kind of attachment to nature through movie, YouTube, TV, or maybe books without actual experience of actual ecosystems?
Right now, it's a debate in research. And for some researchers, they think children need to develop their own connection with nature through real sensory experiences. And they call this a biophilia. But for other researchers, they create a term, mediaphilia. That means kids prefer to connect with nature just by watching TV or watching movie or searching information in internet.
And can you tell a little bit about your own research on nature connectedness?
My research is about teenagers' connection with nature, especially urban teenagers. I'm so curious about that when teenagers said, "Well, I feel so close or connected with nature." What does that mean? So I start to interview teenagers in Taiwan and also in the United States. And right now I am using those interview data to develop a skill to measure teenagers' connection with nature. And I hope this skill can be applied to program evaluation so that I can help our educators to know how successful their program is.
And I wonder if you have any suggestions, tips, or recommendations for environmental educators on how to develop or nurture connection to nature among participants of environmental education.
The first important thing is to give students a period of time so that they can explore the environment by using all their senses. And second, gather your students and sit together to share their emotion responses about nature. And third, try to encourage your student to recreate important meanings or personal values about nature so that kids will start to think, well, yes, nature indeed is important to me personally, and I want to protect nature.
Yuji, I think that you conduct so important research and help us understand the value of this concept of connectedness to nature as one important outcome of environmental education. Good luck in your research and thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye.